in 3 seconds. Thank y'all. Love CCTV. Brother Ari in the house. And what? Yes, I said brotherra.com in the house. Got my slow jams off my cell phone playing in the background. Is that too disturbing? Can y'all still hear me? Well, this is what I've been listening to in my headset. And, yeah. How about if I come here and bam, here I am in your face. Yeah, let's get into that shot there. And how about if I go ahead and bring up my Facebook page, if I can remember all that nonsense. And, yeah, tell me what you want. Yeah, the air conditioning hasn't taken effect on the brother yet. I'm still feeling this summer weather in August. Yeah, Facebook.com. I'll take my time when I'm loving you. Foreplay at 1 until 2. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me, babe. Oh, tell me, babe. Let me know. Tell me what you want. Tell me, babe. Tell me what you need. Tell me, babe. Oh, tell me, babe. Well, as I work on bringing up Facebook, let me just go ahead and share this particular thought that life feels surreal. Yeah, it doesn't it just doesn't feel I mean, it doesn't feel real. It feels imaginary. And, you know, last week I was on Air High, and 2 weeks ago I brought in the elements and showed some of that which is available, where, yeah, brought in some herb. And, yeah, dealing with such things, having a chemical that's added in to your bloodstream, and how do you feel and how do you think, and where does your mind go? And I'm not sure if I myself experience things this way, only me, or, I mean, now that's smoking herb, but it's just multiplied or that much more magnificent or that much more surreal when I'm high. 'Cause already consciousness, a high level of awareness, and I already think differently. But then I think that much more differently and that much more great, being on this element that I'm just now recently experimenting with at the age of 55. And so, being a mature, melanin dominant black man, I tend or seem to feel, what comes to mind, so many things come to mind. I happen to be out in public after writing something, and an individual made reference to the pyramid or something of that nature. And as far as I'm concerned, it took someone in this particular state of mind, or to have the type of imagination and creativity to go ahead and understand or internalize certain things to come up with the base of the pyramid, which is 4 corners. And those 4 corners are 90-degree angles. Get ready to come and go with me, because even though I'm not high, this is how I typically think. But someone understood geometry, understood angles and shapes, symbols of figurations, take 4 corners, 4 90-degree angles. That makes a circle. If you have 90, 90, 90, 90, that's 360 degrees. And so 4 angles that equal a circle at the base or the foundation of the pyramid, and then go up to the pinnacle or the top of the pyramid. We don't have the overhead. I can't show you a dollar bill, but just go in your pocket, get a single dollar bill. On the back side is a pyramid. Now, what does the pyramid have to do with George Washington, a dead slaveholder? And yet that symbol is on the most common financial means of exchange, a dollar. And this pyramid comes to a pinnacle, but on the dollar bill, it gets to a particular point, and then there's a smaller pyramid at the top of the pyramid, which has the quote-unquote, the all-seeing eye, or has an eyeball, or has the ability, the foundation, the 360 degrees, all of that going up the side of the pyramid, stop, and then to another pyramid, and inside that pyramid is an iris with a pupil. The ability to see. Now, this is here in the United States. Now, what was actually meant for the melanin dominant people who actually built the pyramid? What is the message being conveyed by that particular symbol of a triangle that reaches the top? Do you reach all aspects of who you are? You as a human, whether you're melanin dominant, 9/10 the world's population, or 1/10 a more aggressive form, and you see things in a little more aggressive demeanor. You are melanin recessive, inbred mutant albino, and you just have to have a dominant role, a dominant position. You have to be in control. Is there a distinction between melanin dominant and melanin recession? Melanin dominant, melanin recession, and melanin dominant is a little more laid back, relaxed, and doesn't need to prove themselves. They don't have that level of insecurity. But the melanin recessive, inbred mutant albino has to prove themselves. I am! And that was one of the articles or documents that I wrote recently. In the Bible, Exodus 3:14. And God said, I am that I am. Why? If you're a divine energy, if you're a divinity, you can access your infinity. Why would you have to state, I am? Whether folks are watching Brother R.A. or not, do I give a fuck? It's more about me having the opportunity to say and share my thoughts about what I think about myself and my life experiences and how I perceive them and how I see them, how I absorb all of existence. Oh, there was a solar eclipse this week? Yeah, and? Oh, it was so magnificent. It was so invigorating. If you're one who exists in the universe, uni meaning one. You exist in the one verse. You tap in to all there is that exists because you allow yourself to. Then why would such two celestial orbs coming close to one another, why would that be much more magnificent than you yourself already tapping into the divinity and infinity within yourself? You're already next to the sun. If you're melanin dominant, you would see yourself as a child of that sun. The sun emits light. Light is the fastest frequency there is, and you're capable of tapping into the sun within yourself. You're capable of taking your physical, uniting it with your mental, psychological, and you're capable of thinking about the one verse. You're capable of going from here to there in just your own mind's eye. So the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, the first eye, some call it the third eye, what do you allow yourself to see? Are you contained in your thought process?
Each day in America, nearly 10,000 people turn 65 years old. With a population of approximately 15 million, New England lays claim to the largest percentage of baby boomers in the country. Many of these individuals are living with acquired disabilities, though they may not readily identify as having a disability, and they may not realize that their rights are protected by the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA. Since 1990, the ADA has supported a broad range of individuals to live full, meaningful lives in the community. New England ADA Center works closely with those with rights and those with responsibilities to implement the ADA. For more information, contact us today at newenglandada.org, a project of the Institute for Human-Centered Design.
Hi, welcome to Sound and Vision. I'm your host, Beth Redman, here with a new episode of Sound and Vision just for you, so stick around.
Okay. You want me to tell them? I can.
Oh yeah, right now. Okay.
Well, that does it for this episode of Sound and Vision. Thanks again for joining us, and you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/svcambridge. That's facebook.com/svcambridge. And you can also watch us on Vimeo at vimeo.com/channels/svcambridge. Thanks again for joining us. Bye-bye.
When I was a kid, I would make little things out of Sculpey for my dolls. So like little bits of food, little toys, little things for them to play with. I would also like take old socks and sew clothing for them. I saw some three-dimensional illustration and thought, oh, that's what I did when I was a kid. That would be so much fun to do again. And so I made one scene just thinking, oh, this will be a lot of fun. And I realized that what I really wanted to do was what I'd been doing since I was a child. So I'm an illustrator who works three-dimensionally. I really love working three-dimensionally. I like being able to move things around within the world. All those things that you have lying on your desk that you always forget about, that sheaf of papers with little notes that are lying in the corner. I have a lot of fun kind of picking out those details. I might pull out some tentacles and say, oh, look, those are really fun. What can I do with these today? How can I have someone react? What kind of story or scene can I create? And I'll go from there. And sometimes it's a sketch that I've made that I suddenly think, oh, this would really work better three-dimensionally. I had this bicycle that I'd made a while ago, and I decided that I wanted to refurbish it and use it in this illustration. And so the bicycle, which was originally red, was painted seafoam because it matched the palette, and got a little set of panniers, which actually have little pockets in them and are made out of canvas, and got new tires put on it as well and a new seat so that it would work for the scene. I have an entire drawer of lighting things that I have accumulated and collected. I actually find that flashlights work really well because they create a really strong spotlight. And so I can spotlight a character I might not otherwise be able to work with. I also just have like lighting gel samples that I use because I don't actually need really large gels. And those are really helpful. And just like weird little lights that you find at a hardware store, like fake flickering candles. Or a night light that I can put something over so it looks like a lamp that's sitting on a table. It's really, a lot of it is just sort of playing around with things and trial and error, and having fun with things. So like, you know, finding extra cellophane that I can use. Just writing a script for this guy. He is the ravenous reader. He has a little typewriter. Eventually, he will have his own book about reading and writing and being ravenous about it. People like miniature things. They like reacting to dolls and puppets and tiny things they can hold in their hand. And small children always react to small things. What I like about kids is that whatever they want to do, whatever direction they want to take something in is fine. And not cutting them off and directing them somewhere else. They do that enough in school so that when I see them, I just want to encourage them to keep making and to find something in everything that they make that is good and that is original, and to let them know that. And so I like to pull out that original thing and say, hold on to this. Don't let it go. Keep working on it. And it's really fun to create an entire miniature world. I'm Marika Makula, and I'm a writer and illustrator.
Let's watch Boston not protect the trash.
When my daughter started school, I didn't know what to expect. School here is very different from my country. I wasn't sure how to talk to my child's teacher. Pathways helped me build my confidence and gave me ideas on what to ask in parents' conferences.
Pathways to Family Success is a family literacy program for immigrant families with children in grades kindergarten through 3rd. We help families understand the school system, find community resources, and support their children in reading. To learn more, call us.
Wanna be a belly button baby. Oh, I wanna be a lover baby. Wanna be a bread and butter baby. Oh, I wanna be a lover baby. Wanna be a bread and butter baby. Oh, I wanna be a lover baby. Wanna be a bread and butter baby. Oh, I wanna be a lover baby.
I think of myself as an introvert. I mean, I've always been introverted, so I've always thought, oh, it would be so great if I was an extrovert. I think because I don't usually participate like that much in class. Like that's harder for me.
I consider myself not an introvert and not an extrovert. I consider myself right in the middle. In some situations, in classrooms and stuff, I tend to lay back more and don't talk as much. Whereas if the conversation is something I know a lot about, like photography or wildlife or biology, then I'll talk up a lot more. Like I can give an hour-long presentation in photography, but a 2-minute presentation in history.
I consider myself an extrovert because, you know, it's very easy for me to talk to people. I'm very social. I don't have trouble speaking to people. It's just like it comes off natural for me.
I guess meeting new people is hard, and I kind of feel like uncomfortable in new situations.
In social situations, I'd say I'm more extroverted because I go to a lot of meetings and stuff where I'm accustomed to speaking up because I have to speak up and talk about stuff.
I think it's also good to like sometimes not be in the big group or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's very important to be able to talk in large groups and small groups as well, and know the differences between both of them, and when to not talk as much and when to talk a lot more.
First day of school, you always do like meeting each other in games and stuff like that, and that can be really uncomfortable for some people and more comfortable for other people. And so, I don't know, like teachers don't always recognize that.
I mean, like in some classes, like participation's like really big. So if you don't participate, like that can hurt your grade. And that's not really the best measurement, I guess, of grading in like any case.
It can be kind of awkward when someone tells you in class that you're socially awkward. But besides that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say there's more pressure to be an extrovert because we live in a very social society.
I guess speaking is more an advantage in life, or like being more social is more an advantage in life. So I think that's the reason why schools like, I guess, push you towards being more of a extrovert.
I think we do see extroverted qualities as better. Cause like, I don't know, everyone on TV shows is an extrovert.
There's a lot of advantages, I guess, in jobs. If you're like more charismatic, people will like you more. If you're in school, like you might develop a relationship with your teacher because you're social. But if you're an introvert, you might not say anything ever to anyone, so like the teacher doesn't really know you. There's just a lot of advantages to like speaking, I guess, or being social.
You know, but also introverts, I feel like they tend to like be really, if they're gonna do a presentation or do something like that, they're gonna really like focus on their work and make it as good as they can be because they don't want to mess up. So they're more conscious of that, which can be a good thing.
It really is just a level of comfort you have. Like, it's not really like better, good, like worse or anything. Like, it's just who you are, and it's like, yeah.
I am deep in the belly of artistic routine. Yeah, I wake up, I free write, then I work out, and then I probably draw. And then I'll either write or I'll play guitar, or I'll play guitar, and then I'll write, and then I'll rush around extremely late for work.
Do you remember the scene where the secretary stays late and cracks open the safe, and with her new acquired lockpicking skills she finds that missing.
Flaubert, I think, quote about making your life boring so your art can be interesting. And I think there is something probably to be said for some of us, like who flourish on structure rather than non-structure. I picked up an archaeology book from the free pile at work. It's like a 20s Chinese archaeology book, and I used it as a sketchbook because it was making me sad for all the paper to not be used. And then I started drawing abstractly because of the layout of these archaeology, you know, the mounds or where they found what. And then I started drawing on regular paper, and then I just kept going. And I think it was partly because I had written a novel that started because I couldn't figure out why I didn't like Jackson Pollock. Then I wanted to draw non-representationally. Before that, I've been doing a lot of like cats. It's so much fun. I mean, I would like recommend to anyone, sit down with a big pile of markers and draw for 45 minutes a day. It's like hugely satisfying. Hey, wasn't I gonna get a fresco?
Well, you know,
I was gonna throw a big prima donna fit, but I forgot.
trust is gone and there is nothing left. I'm not sure you can even say everyone tried their best. But that secretary, she was justice's age.
Lines, dots, circles.
Knows to lose. It's all about what you choose to do. When you're sensible.
When I look at them anyway, they are like little explosions. What I make, right?
In the mid-1950s, Cambridge began a transformation, or brand change if you will, not unlike the one we are experiencing in the 2010s. Before the 1950s, the Cambridge brand was manufacturing, and candy was our sweetest commodity. So much so that Main Street was called confection.
Boom! The last 7 minutes, or the last 5 minutes of Brother R.A. I guess I had a seizure and I was taken off the air, but now I'm back on for the remaining minutes of this particular BrotherRA.com hour. Sean just left and he said it appeared that I wasn't in my chair. I wasn't in touch with myself. And yeah, I escaped what was me on air. But here, let's just go through this real quick. So this is 7/5/17, and then the 7/12/17, and oh yeah, that's way back when Kay Bourne put that picture up of Brother R.A. and Nina La Negra. 5 years ago, July 19th, and then 7/19, Wednesday, R.A. filled in because didn't have Steve Coakley DVD. RA spent the day without time writing a blog on jewelnetwork.com. Mayan calendar edged on Saturday, 7/24/2010. Sorority sisters epitomize black girl magic in viral melanin illustrated shoot. Have you a chance to see the pics of the sorority sisters that's going viral? Donald Trump announces foreign policy advisors to Three Stooges. Marcus Garvey t-shirt. Ayana Beaumont. This woman is beautiful. In order to see the truth, you must recognize the lie.